Yeah,
I'm super excited for that one too.
Joe is the beard I'm going for.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Joe says, I'll back replicator when Rob tells me I'm his favorite. You are my favorite, Joe.
That's bullshit.
Studio says tonight is one of the greatest launches. Too bad Malin is not here to see it. Actually, that part is okay.
Well, in his defense, he's literally on another stream talking about it.
Yeah, I know. That's like
that blew my mind. I gotta leave. It's like I gotta leave my meeting with Paul McCartney so I can go do a podcast with some losers about the Beatles. I'm not calling them losers, but
wait, who are the losers? Are you getting?
No. I'm not that was a bad thing to say. That's not what I meant. They're not.
Who are these losers, John?
Okay. Joe M Sonntag says, "Hail John in jail." Meeting that we've all been waiting for.
That guy Joe Sonntag is the guy who Joe used stuff.
I didn't.
Oh, Joe's a great guy. Joe, you know what? He's a great guy.
No, I didn't.
Joe did a great show.
I meant my theoretical Beatles podcasters were losers. I did not mean my fellow comic skaters were losers. Not at all.
Good save.
You think they'll buy it?
The following program is rated TV-17, containing bad language.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Sexual situations.
Like, you're gonna take your pants off instead?
Nudity.
Sure.
And graphic depictions of nut-crunching dick kicks.
Oh, I just had to kick in the diddly again.
Parental discretion is advised.
All right, welcome everybody to the Ronin Joe Show. It is Sunday. It is the Ronin Joe Show, episode 34. We're calling this one, Why Don't You Cry About It, Saddlebags. I don't know why. We're going to figure that out as we're going forward. A few things I got to talk about. Some fun, entertaining things, as I usually do. Have a good time here as people will filter in and say hello in the chat. Shout out to you guys. I'll come to the chat here in a second. Also, I got to talk about something that annoyed me. At the end of the show, we're gonna get into it. I don't usually do a lot of drama stuff here, and it's not necessarily drama, although I'm sure some people might look at it that way. It's really not meant to be. It's more of an opinion and a thought that I want to get out there on how not to do certain things. And yeah, we'll jump into it. But it is good. Sunday night, I'm feeling really good, ready to roll here. Although the left side of my body is going numb. Am I having a heart attack? Is that what's happening? I don't know. Maybe it's a pinched nerve. That's what it could be. But like, I'm just like, ugh. I don't know what's going on. I don't like it though. It's uncomfortable. So hopefully it's all good. We'll see. If you see me fall out of the chair, just dial 911. I don't know if that'll help because nobody knows where I live. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. I'm gonna say hi to the chat real quick though. Mark Penguin. The first in the chat, that's number one in the chat, number one in my heart, my friend. That makes you.
You're number one.
Yes, sir, you are.
So, Mr. Penguin.
A penguin is a bird that cannot fly. I am a man. I have a name.
And his name is Mark Penguin. Welcome to the show, everybody. We have the infamous Mr. Cursed in the house. Says, woo! I like that. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Katie's in the house. Says, hail, Joe. Woo. Hail. Hail to you guys. Well, we got Andrew Wyatt says, good evening. I flew an Airbus today. No shit. That sounds interesting. I have to say. Yes, a A330. Craziness, man. Craziness. But shout out to you. Tom Scales is in the house. Talking to Wyatt says the largest plane I flew was a Cessna Caravan dropping off skydivers over Texas. Nice. Look at you pilots in the chat there. You know what's interesting is I work a full-time job, 40 hours a week job. And so what I do, I make cleaning solutions, industrial grade cleaning solutions. I'm the guy that's up on the mez, mixing the 500-gallon tanks of all of the different chemicals and stuff, bleach, acid, all that kind of shit. Anyway, we brought on a new customer, and I had to make this brand new batch, and they had to fly in a chemist from Ohio, and he was going to watch me make the batch, make sure everything was good and all that kind of stuff. It was part of my job, no problem. But he's like in his probably 60s. His name was Bob. Good guy, Bob. And we were talking a little bit, and he told me that he was an F-16 fighter pilot in Desert Storm. And so I didn't go into like crazy. I didn't want to ask him war stories because it's just not something you do, you know, the people that have done service or whatever. But I just had to ask him certain questions. Like, man, I've never met anybody that flew an F-16 before. Like, that's pretty badass. So I asked him one question. I was just like, did Hollywood get it right, or were they completely off when they depict, you know, these scenes in the movies? And he said that Top Gun Maverick, which was the second one they made a few years back, he said he got it pretty good. He was pretty happy with that when he watched that movie. He said Top Gun 1, not at all. So a little inside information for you there. K.O. Joe's in the house says, greetings from Raleigh, North Carolina. Greetings, my friend. Hope you're doing well. What did I miss here? Who did I miss? We got Sheldon Martin in the house, member of the channel, Sheldon Martin. So first members in the chat always get this.
What are you doing up
Oh my God! I'm sorry! I can't stop coming! I'm sorry! Oh, it feels so good!
You know it feels so good to have the members in the chat tonight.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Oh yeah, you know it. It's gonna be one of those shows. I like it. Alex VRB's in the house says Joe is referring to roping, hence saddlebags. I like that. I think that's good. That's good. Rick Saylor's in the house, my guy. I was just wondering about you, Rick. Wondering how everything's going. Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope all is well, my friend.
The common thread in all of my failed schemes is human stupidity. people are just too stupid to accept me as their leader.
Yeah, 100% all the time. We also have the Don in the chat, says, hail to the chat fam. Hail to you, man. Shout out to the Don. Every Saturday at 7 p.m., he has a show called The Studio, where him and a bunch of really awesome dudes get together. They draw, they have guests on, good conversations, fun show. Last night, my boy Zachary Maurice was on there talking about Mondor's Rising, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. If you guys don't know, Mondor's Rising is a book that Superior Press, my company, is producing. It's the first book, creator-owned book that's not my property, my stuff that we're producing for somebody else, and we are very excited about it. We'll talk more as we get going. All right. Let everybody know that we're live, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, do me a favor with that. Share the stream out. Get people in here. I know we're streaming up against, I think Malin was streaming. Shane was streaming late. Sundays have become a very busy night. You know, when we first moved the show to Sunday, I don't think that a lot of people were streaming on Sundays. It was like kind of my thing. It was my niche, you know. And now everybody's starting to do it. So that's fine. Competition. I love it. It's good. Good stuff. So let people know. Let's get in here. Let's rock and roll. First thing I just wanted to bring up, I don't know how many people out there are excited about the new He-Man movie that's coming out. I am on the fence. Like, there's parts of it that look really good, and there's other parts that I'm kind of worried about when it comes to, you know, any movie coming out of Hollywood right now, and with the woke stuff or whatever. You know, I feel like there was a pushback on the woke, and we didn't see a lot of it for a second, but now it's kind of creeping back in. I don't necessarily know if I see that in He-Man so far, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people do. You know, okay. The usual people on YouTube or on X or on social media, you know, the first thing they do is they just run right to anything that's put out by the major studios, especially Disney or anything like that. It's like automatically it's woke. It's woke this, it's woke that. I don't even know if they know what woke is anymore. I've talked about this before a few times. That I think they've gone so far the other way. Either that or it's just rage bait all the time, like everything has to be garbage, you know, like everything is negative. That was one of the biggest reasons I stopped watching what was his name, Az right, he did. I used to watch a lot of his streams, a lot of his videos, and I agree with a lot of the stuff until one day I'm starting to watch things and I'm just like, you know, this wasn't a bad movie. I didn't really see a lot of woke stuff in this. And then lo and behold, the next day the video drops and it was just Az talking about like how woke this thing was and how you know, trash it was. I was like, I disagree with you on that. And that just kept happening over and over and over again with these YouTubers. And I was like, you know what? I think these guys are full of shit. It's just, I think they're just doing content to get clicks, to get engagement. I think that's all it is. So I stopped listening to a lot of people when it came to their opinions on woke now in the industry. So back to my He-Man thing. I saw this from Dark Horse, Masters of the Universe, the comic book. The reason why I'm bringing this up is not so much the He-Man aspect of it. If I don't like it, it's woke. That's exactly what it. I mean, you nailed it there, Rick. That's exactly what. And I'm not going to throw out names. I'm not going to name names. But there were people I know specifically that did not watch these shows. In fact, I would get DMs from some people that knew I watched some of these shows because I would talk about it, you know, on X. You know, I'd do mini reviews on some of the stuff I really liked, and they would DM me just to get a lowdown on what happened in the show. They didn't watch it, but then I would go see them post based on what I said and have their narrative attached to it. And that's when I knew that whole thing's a grift. It's an absolute grift. It's engagement farming, rage baiting, whatever you want to call it. It's a grift. Speaking of the grift, I have a new show starting with Sean Arendt and Kayla Thornton or Adrian, whatever last name she's going with. It's going to be starting sometime in March. It's going to be called The Grift. It's going to basically be a variety show of everything you've seen us do here on the Ronin Joe channel, AKBA, ANS, whatever. And we're just going to have a good old time. We're going to get the band back together. I think it's going to be fun. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll let you guys know the days and the times when we get in there, when that happens. But The Grift, great name for a show. Joe has a pretty badass background here. Joe has a pretty badass background here. On my screen? I'll go with it. I used to watch Nerdrotic and Az, but all they were is effing negative and hate everything. It's tiresome. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like anytime it actually sucks. It sucks a lot when you jump into YouTube and you get into conversations and you get into channels that talk about the things that you like. And you jump on board. You're like, all right, I can get in here. The chat seems to be cool. We're all thinking of the same thing. But then after a while, it's just like, everything is bad. Everything is negative, even when it's not. I'm someone that I like to try to be as honest as possible with what I like and what I don't like. If I watch something and I don't like it, I will tell you guys. And if I like it, I will let you guys know that I like it. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, especially if it's like the trendy thing to bash, whatever. And that's what it is. You see all these videos popping up, and it's just a trending. You hit the trend, people come in because everybody just wants to bitch about stuff. It's just not me. I can't do that. I can't do that. I got to talk about the things I like. Rick says people will find anything to make content, blow small things way out of proportion. That's a fact. You got Ace in the house. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing good. Great name for a show. I'm telling you, I'm a genius. Usually it's Sean. Usually Sean comes up with all the really good names and stuff when it comes to our shows. Well, on stuff. I give on stuff to him. That was a great name. And one day I'm thinking, I was like, what are we going to call this new show? And we had a couple different names out there, ideas that we were thinking about. And one day it just popped in my head. I was like, The Grift. I was like, man, that sounds good. Because everyone's all like, this person's a grifter. It's a grift. This is a grift. I especially see that as negative when it comes to like CG and stuff or like crowdfunding. I'm like, let's use it. We're taking it back. That's what we're doing. We're taking back. I'm tired of toxic fandoms. Me too, man. I used to be a part of it for a little bit. I absolutely was. I'm not going to lie. I was all about just shitting on stuff. But I'm just tired of it. It ran its course. Let's just get back to being honest about certain things. Ace says, I also hate everything, but don't care enough to stream about it. The duality of man. There's that for sure. Kayla's good people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Griff. GRIF. What would that stand for, Andrew? Let me know. I stand on facts. I like facts. I like being honest. I don't mind being wrong. I reserve the right to change my opinions based on new evidence when I'm talking about anything. So yeah, absolutely. Honesty, yes. Let's do it. That's what we're all about here on the Ronin Joe channel. Honesty. Maybe that honesty gets us in hot water sometimes. We might find out a little bit later when I talk about what I'm going to talk about. But here, getting back to this Masters of the Universe. So I saw this posted on X, and one thing that just kind of it dawned on me that regardless of whatever this show is going to be, whatever this movie is going to be, whatever is good or bad, woke or not woke, whatever, I think they're at least doing this right. You remember back when Marvel was doing the MCU and you had Thor and Iron Man come out and Incredible Hulk and all that as they were doing like the first phase or whatever it was, and it's the best example of how not to do something. Where in the Marvel comics, you go there and they've got Lady Thor, they've got a different Hulk, they've got a different Captain America, whatever. It's all new, all different Marvel or whatever that was. And so they were not lined up with the company itself to bring these new readers into the company. Well, I'm looking at this, I'm like, what a perfect way to do it. You're putting out a comic book, and whether this is a comic book that is to go like a prequel or whatever to fill in that goes along with the movie, or if it's a new series that's going based on the movie, regardless of how they're doing it. If you go watch the movie, you're new to He-Man, you're a younger person, you're going to see that. Maybe you get excited about it. Maybe you go to the comic store and you see this sitting on the shelf, 4-issue miniseries, and it's going to be exactly what you just saw on the big screen. I think this is awesome. I think it's a great idea, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Dark Horse for actually doing something correct instead of being like, oh, let's do a female He-Man. I guess you had She-Ra, so I guess you could have done that. But, there's all sorts of weird stuff that they could have done, and they didn't. So I wanted to give a shout-out when I saw this, and that's what we need to do more. Give shout-outs so when people do things correctly, when they do the right thing, give them their props. Call them out when they need to, give them their props when they deserve it. Alex says too much negative engagement farming. If you don't like it, eventually you have to move on and find stuff that you like instead, or at least mix it up more. Talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I agree, man. I agree. And I think that's what we're going to do on the Grift. Yeah, I think that's really what it's going to be on the Grift. We're not looking to dog anybody or start drama or all that kind of stuff. But if we have honest opinions of things, I think we're going to give the honest opinion in a diplomatic way, which if you guys stick around to the end of the show, I have something to talk about. I don't know if it's going to be controversial or not, but I'm going to do it in the most diplomatic way that I can think of doing it. So it doesn't come off like I'm attacking somebody, but I'm expressing a personal opinion on something that I did not like that I saw. Ace said the only grift that matters to me is grifter. Facts, my friend. All right. Excuse me, that snuck up on me. Grift, getting really into fandom things. LOL. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that. We also have Christopher Bouchard in the house. I don't know where that cough came from. Usually I can mute that in time, so I do apologize for that, guys. Phil's in the house as well. He says, what's up, everyone? What's up with you? By the way, everybody go check out The Man With No Strings issue 2 that launched not too long ago with art by Oliver Isabedra, who is doing a project for me as well. So I want to make sure that all projects do very, very well. And hopefully that brings some excitement to the project that I will be launching with Oliver later on this year. Madness Entertainment Group says the job is to entertain. Hopefully you have an audience above the trash talk and trolling. You know, I don't mind so much the trash talk and trolling with a purpose. You know, with a purpose. Everybody, and I've changed my mind a lot over the last, I don't know, year about a lot of different things, you know, which again, I reserve the right to change my mind about a lot of stuff. New evidence gets put in front of me. You know, I see something differently than I did before. I don't want to be stuck in the same decision I made a year ago if I've changed on that, you know. So what I don't like is just, I see it in politics, I see it in the YouTube game. It's just, what can you do to piss people off or to placate content to the pissed off to just bring them in, right? And what you can do is you can just give them what they want, what they desire is to be pissed off about something. They don't like something, they want to tune into something, they want to see you bitch about it and bring up all the reasons why you don't like it so they can just sit there and agree. That's fine and dandy if it's something legit, but a lot of times it's just like, now everything is so negative. Something happens in politics, it immediately, because of social media, it's out there and just the spin has been put on it, and it just gives a place where everybody can go there and just, you know, shit on each other and just, you know, create this negative bubble that is going to burst at some point. Some people might actually, it might be there. We might be there. You know, the burst might be happening in this country with a lot of different things, especially with politics. The same things with religion, but especially when you jump into the entertainment aspect of what we do. Things have gotten so hostile, so divided over the years that it's you've created enemies, and for no reason either. You know, like that's a funny thing. Like, we can disagree on a lot of things, but we can just be cool with each other. I don't know where that went. I don't know where that ability went. There was a guy in our chat, Blue Boy Comics. He was in our chat in and out. You know, he'd been in the chat for quite a while. There were a few times that on streams he and I would go back and forth when I would say something political, and he was obviously a different politics than I was. But, you know, he jumped in the chat not too long ago and basically was like, I'm not supporting anybody that supports Trump anymore because he's a pedo. And I'm just like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, well, get out of here then. Like, I really don't give a shit. If you are so weak in your thought process that you can't support somebody because they associate with someone else that you don't like, then that's on you, man. And I don't deal with that stuff, man. Like, I move on real quick from that. Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those streams. I just feel like it's gonna be one of those streams. Here is where he goes off. Preach, Father Ronin Joe, or King Ronin, as I have now dubbed myself. I don't know why, it just dawned on me. I was like, yo, King Ronin, I like that. I'm gonna Ronin Joe now for like a year or so. Let's turn it to King Ronin. It's got a little bit of like gravitas to it, you know. It shows some of the cockiness. You know, I used to be a front man of a metal band, and that's what we did. It was all about like, how cocky can you be? And that's I'm bringing it back, my friends. I'm bringing it all back, like Corey Feldman in the Goonies. I'm taking it back. See, this was mine. This was my dream, and it didn't come true. Now I'm taking it back, taking it all back. That's what I'm doing. That's what's gonna happen right now. Did you guys see this? I don't know if you guys are into heavy metal or music. Hopefully you're into music. Music is it's a driving force in life. So I hope that's something you guys enjoy. Don says, Mama Donna says, hail to the chat and Joe. Woo! Hail to you, my friend. Hail to you and hail to Mama Donna. All right. I'm a big fan of heavy metal. Different eras of heavy metal. Yeah. You go all the way back to Black Sabbath, the godfathers of heavy metal. And then into the 80s, you got more of the hair bands, but also in there you came to thrash metal, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer was a little bit before that as well. And you get into the 90s, it was basically really ruled, in my opinion, by Pantera before nu metal came in about the late 90s with Korn, Slipknot, Mudvayne, Deftones, Linkin Park, all these different bands. But I'm a big fan of the metal in general. So I was actually pretty surprised when I see this article pop up on social media, and I had to go check to see if it was real. And sure enough, I found a bunch of different articles about it. William Shatner, the Shat, as we affectionately call him, is starting a metal band. And I think it's freaking awesome. And I'll tell you why in a second. Timescale says, everyone asked Joe about his band life right here. I know I interviewed him. Yes, you did. It's been a second since we talked, but that was a fun interview. Yeah, I talk a lot about it as like I'm a joking matter of my life as a frontman of a metal band for about 10 years before I got back into comics. I don't really talk a lot about the experiences I had during that time. And there were some great times, great times in the music world. I have a soft spot, a giant love for music in my heart, just like I have for comics and creating comic books as well. And I've always said, like, I need to talk about it more. And I just never do because I'm just so caught up in everything else that's going on. It keeps me busy. But yeah, that was a fun interview. Gay Klingons on one head banging Kirk on the other. Yeah, I don't even want to go into that. I saw the gay Klingons, and it's just, I'm so detached from Star Trek at this point. They haven't created anything good in a while. The first remake, who did that? Who directed was it Ratner? No, it wasn't Ratner. Was it? I don't know, chat. Tell me who directed the remake of Star Trek that was like, what, 10 years ago or something like that when that came out with Chris Pines? That was fine. It wasn't bad. The other ones that came out were they were iffy, but I generally like Star Trek. I like the space odyssey lore, just like Star Wars. I can like both. I'm not on one side or the other. But I saw the shit about the gay Klingons, and I was just like, man, that's one property where the woke came in and never left. It never left. It's basically taking that franchise over from the get. And this is just kind of what we're stuck with now. So I was not surprised. I laughed when I saw it, especially take one of the most macho characters out there like the Klingons. They're all about war and honor and death and violence. And you're going to take that race and make them have a gay character. J.J. Abrams, thank you. Zever Comics, appreciate you. So I saw it, I laughed at it, and I was like, I got to move on. I can't do it. Rick says, don't lie, Joe. It was all AI. Joe was in a local boy band, but called the Michigan Boys. Well, I could pull it off, man. I was a hell of a front man. I'd be a front man for any band. It's just easy. I have the gift of being able to talk to the crowd, So I mean, I could, not that I would ever, heavy metal, rock, that's where I wanted to be performing, but I could do it. I'm that damn talented. Don says, subscribe to Joe if you haven't already. Yeah, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build the channel. We had a really great show with John Malin on stuff on Thursday. I think we gained like 20 subs from that show. So guys, if you haven't yet, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are really trying to get this thing going in a better direction than the channel has been, which is one of the reasons why we're starting the grift. We're going to talk about a little bit more than just comic books, because although comic books and comic book art is fun, it is kind of a niche thing. And I want to expand out and get more viewers, more subs, all that kind of stuff. All right, so from February 19th, William Shatner has announced the upcoming release of a new metal album featuring 35 hand-picked metal icons. The 94, and that's what I want to say. This is impressive, man. This is a guy that knows he's towards the end of his life. 94 is a long time to live. I joked that I turned 44 and I've got 30 to 40 good years left, and that's it. I'm counting down now instead of counting up as we do for most of our youth. Now I'm starting to count down. You see somebody like William Shatner, who's 94 years old, done it all, movie star, his hit TV series. He's got so many different shows that he's on, convention scene. He's just known around the world. One of the most popular names you could probably say in the entire world. At 94 years old, wants to venture off and start a metal. I love it. I think that's awesome. I think that's great. It says, known for his dramatic spoken word style, revealed that he'll be covering Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and Iron Maiden on a yet entitled album, which also includes original material penned by his team of musicians. I'm stoked for this. I think this is going to be, especially with the names that they're bringing on board, I am absolutely stoked. So the whole project is destined for this year, Shatner said in a press release issued by Cleopatra Records. I hope you will join me in the exploration. A few details were revealed beyond that, though Shatner did discuss the project's origin, a one-off spoken word intro piece for Nuclear Messiah, the metal supergroup helmed by ex-Megadeth axeman Chris Poland. The experience was apparently so inspiring, Shatner set out to create a full-blown metal album of his own. Now, if you guys have seen, he's famous for doing the spoken word Rocket Man by Elton John. He did that was a long time ago. That was 90s, right? Was it 80s? Shit, I can't remember when that was. But he's done stuff like this before, but knowing he's going to do this now and do it to metal, I think is pretty cool. Timescale says, once I reached 50, I decided it was better to quit collecting and offloading what I had collected. There you go. She's hot for a white chick. That's all that matters. Mine Enemies Fall. Yeah, it's enemies, but right. Yeah, you can check out Mine Enemies Fall, which is my old band, on YouTube for sure. If you guys like good, badass heavy metal, you guys aren't going to be disappointed. I guarantee it. When Nuclear Messiah came to life, something clicked, Shatner said. It wasn't just a track. It was a doorway. It made me want to go all the way in and bring in the best metal players I could find and create something fearless. Love it. Love to hear it. Elsewhere in the announcement, Shatner mused, metal has always been a place where imagination gets loud. This album is a gathering of forces, each artist bringing their fire, their precision, and their chaos. I chose them because they have something to say and because metal demands honesty. Shatner has previously experienced working with heavy metal music artists such as Zakk Wylde, Ritchie Blackmore, Wayne Kramer, Henry Rollins, and Michael Schechter. In fact, it was a gifted guitar from Wylde that served as a deeply motivating gesture in regards to his unexpected new musical direction. I've spent a lifetime exploring in both reality and fiction, Shatner says. Now I'm stepping out into the unknown once again with my new project in heavy metal. Additional album details, including title track list, release dates, lead singer, and the full roster of featured artists will be revealed soon. Now, my question, guys. My question is that something you're interested in? Is that something you are excited about? Because I am. If you guys haven't seen it, let's look it up. Let's see if I can find it. William Shatner's Rocket Man. Hopefully that doesn't get me hit. We're going to find out here real quick. If you haven't seen this, you need to see it. All right, audio restore. Let's go with that one. Get this one here. No. Skip ad. All right, hold on a second. I'll get this set up for you guys. Don't worry. All right, I'm going to kill this music, as rocking as it is. Let's bring this one up. This is cool. I remember when I first saw this, I laughed my ass off. It was absolutely great. Absolutely great. All right, here we go. Add the stage. I think, possibly. Is this it? Did I do it right? Here we go. You let me know if you can hear it out there. All right, get to the, where's it at? Don't need all that.
My bags.
Let's go.
Last night, pre-flight. 0 hour.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. And I'm gonna be
dramatic.
High. as a kite by then. Miss the earth.
I'm gonna have to pause this as I go, otherwise they are going to ding me. I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space. By the way, what an awesome song. Yo! Oh yeah, there we go. Because smoking is fine. Yeah, back in the day where you could smoke. I mean, you can still smoke now, I guess, but it's really looked down on. Sean Martin said, if the channel gets hit from it, might as well also play the Hogan leg drop too. Well, I tried doing that Hogan one, and they hit me with that one. They weren't messing around at all with that. See what is going on with my screen here. What is happening? Weird. There we go. All right. Something just happened on my screen. I lost it. Here we go.
So much. I miss my wife.
Dramatic.
It's lonely.
Out in space.
On such a time.
On such a time. Pre-flight. Beautiful stuff. I remember when people smoked on airplanes, set off the fire alarm, and once with my sneak a toke. Oops, not arrested. I got lucky. That is lucky, man. We were playing in the bars. We hadn't quite graduated to bigger clubs yet with my band. And that was right around the time where they changed the smoking laws. I don't know if it was nationally or just in Michigan, or then eventually went nationally. But there was a period of time where that affected the bars just a little bit. But then eventually everyone was like, whatever, we'll stand outside and smoke. So, which actually was nicer because now you're playing in bars and it wasn't all bogged down by smoke. So I didn't mind it too much as a singer. I was fine with it.
And I think it's going to be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me back again to find I'm not the man they think I am back home.
I'm a rocket man.
Rocket man. Burning out his fuse out here.
Alone. Rocket man. Speaking of Kayla, we got Kayla in the house. Says, what's up? What's up with you? Hope you were doing well. I was just telling everybody about the new show, which I don't even know if I told you, Kayla, what the name of the show is going to be called. But Sean and I decided to call the show The Grift, which was what we will be doing when Kayla gets back. Sometimes in March, I think, is when we're going to actually we're going to end Otten Stuff. We're going to end it correctly. We're going to have one last show of Otten Stuff for sure before we start the new show. But that is one of our co-hosts. Everyone say hey to Kayla. Good to see you. Yeah, 94 years old, man. He's doing his thing. You could smoke everywhere when I was growing up. Yeah, for the most part, me too. Until I was in my 20s, and that's when they kind of changed everything. Which, again, I've never been a smoker at all, really. So it didn't bother me. I didn't know the airplane restroom had a smoke alarm, and it was full on Humboldt County skunk. Oh, gotcha. We made it in Texas, or made it to Texas. I will never try it again. I like that. Good for you, man. Good for you. You can smoke everywhere when I was growing up. Oh, yeah, I read that. I need to get a computer battery. Yeah, we'll get that all squared away before we start. You got plenty of times. We're not going to start the show until March. So, here we go.
Alone. I think it's going to be a long, long time. Till touchdown, bring me round again. Fine. I'm not the man they think I am. Oh, no.
I love it. It's just so good. William Shatner is awesome. Like, I can't wait for him to do this with metal. And I gotta assume that he's gonna be doing the spoken thing with the metal thing, and not just I hope he doesn't get a singer to sing, unless it's like a backup singer. You can bring certain style of vocals in over his stuff. If he's gonna do like kind of like the spoken word with metal, and then have a singer like in the background or singing over him to kind of bring it all together, that could be good. I'd be down for that. But it's gonna be awesome. Shout out to Kim Kardashian for sending her Skims buyers money. Yeah, I heard about that. Apparently, Kayla got a rebate or a refund or something. I don't know what that was, but I got some money from Kim Kardashian. That's awesome.
Oh, I'm a rocket man. Burning out his fuse out here alone. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise a kid. In fact,
it's cold as hell. And there's no one there to... Oh, nice. I met William Shatner 3 times, and he's always been a cool guy. Always surprised how short he is in real life. Oh, really? Nice. Well, I mean, I guess not nice. But I mean, he is. You shrink when you get older. So maybe he was at one point a decent height, you know, and then now he's shrinking. You know, that's what it is. I'm already shrinking. I'm only 44. I'm just kidding. I'm not. Let's move on from that. See if we can finish this before they hit us.
And there's no one there to raise them. If you did. And all this science.
All the science.
I don't understand. It's just a job. 5 days,
5 days a week. Rocket man.
Rocket man.
Dramatic pause and goes back to himself.
A rocket.
All right, here we go.
Days a week. Rocket.
Looks over to himself.
A rocket man.
A rocket man. That's good. That's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that. So again, 94 years old, starting the metal band. Probably, I can't tell if the article of Zakk Wylde is going to be in it or if it's just somebody he's worked with in the past. But absolutely, if Zakk Wylde's in it, man, you're gonna have some, you know, besides just the covers they're gonna do, you're gonna have some crushing riffs. It's gonna be awesome as hell. So get ready for that. I don't know exactly when that's coming out, but we are going to be very excited when it does. Joe, your mic just went out. Did it? Not working? There. Can you hear me now? Can anybody hear me? Hello? Hello? Let me know in the chat. Check 1, 2. It's working on this end. Okay, mic's okay. All right, good. Scaring me, guys. Oh, when did it go out? Okay, that's weird. Sheldon's saying he's been hearing it the whole time. We can hear you now. Mic is okay. It's a rocket. Man. Rocket, bro. Like that. All right. All right, well, the mic's back good. Scare me there for a second. The last thing I want is to lose my mic. That's not fun. And it's you know, you can't be streaming live and then lose your mic. I mean, what are you really going to do? That's a horrible thing. Can't talk to, you can't be heard. It just kills the show. And then you're just stuck here like an asshole trying to figure out what the hell you can do to get the stream back going again. Maybe for the East Coasters it went out. That could be East Coast. It could be the storm here. Oh man, you getting hit? You know, we're getting a little snow here. Nothing major, but it's coming. Okay. So maybe it was on your end. Mike has always been good here. May have been a YouTube glitch in areas down reports. Okay. Well, everybody bundle up for that storm. You know, we are this close. This close. You know, Sean came to live with me. And I'm telling him about Michigan because he's coming from New Jersey. And I'm telling him about Michigan. I was like, the funny thing about Michigan, it's very bipolar when we're coming out of going into seasons, that we will get a week like we just got where we're like in the 60s. This last past week was beautiful. I mean, I'm talking about you think it's spring's coming, the sun's shining. I'm going out in t-shirts, and I'm just like, yes, here we are. Bring it on. Let's go. Let's get to spring. And we're right back in the 30s, right back in the snow, and that's what Michigan does. Give you a little bit of a tease, nice weather, and now we're right back into cold. And we're probably going to get like a foot, 2 feet of snow before spring actually rolls around in the next couple months. And shit, once we had snow until May. Michigan's weird. I love it. I love it. Michigan's weird. We're supposed to get 2 feet. Oh, jeez. Hold on tight. It's end viewers with audio issues, not you. Okay. Thank you. You write everything on signs like Jinimama, and that told me. As a panda, nobody would get that reference. I did not get it. No, I did not. Michael K the whole time here. Thank you. Appreciate it. We have a blizzard alert. Oh, geez. Sean, cool. I can send him his art. Yeah, man. Yeah. No, he's our roommate now. Absolutely. Yeah, bikinis on the beach. Oh, that's a good thing about the nice weather. Women start wearing less clothes. Speaking of less clothes, but not really. It's a segue. Let's go. Let's do it. I have a sketchbook that you can get on my website, superiorpresscomics.com. This is a collection of most of the stuff I've done on the Kings over the last few months is going to be on here. Some of my best work, I thought, and also some of my favorite work that I've done over the last 6, 7, 8 years is going to be in here as well. All black and white, about 24 pages of art, also consisting of at least 2 brand new sketches that you guys have never seen before, and all for $10. If you guys haven't yet, pre-order this today. This will be going out in July. Probably the end of July is when I'm going to start getting all the orders together and sending this thing to print. The book's already done, so there's no real waiting except for this funding period that we have to get to the printing. But I'm excited to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but never really had a lot of sketches that I was actually proud of to want to put in a book until now. I've been very proud of a lot of stuff that I've been doing on the Kings. Here's just a few samples here. And a lot of these are just 2-hour sketches that we do on that show. The exclusive sketches I'm going to be putting into the book and be a little bit more detail in those and some of the ones you saw. You're also going to have some commissions. So maybe if you got a commission from me, you might see that pop up in this book as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you want a remarked version, just click down here. For $30, you can get a remark. If you don't know what a remark is, I will draw a picture on the cover, custom picture. There'll only be 10 of these going out that you can get. So get them while they last. And definitely do that. $30 for the remark, $10 for the actual sketchbook itself. Do not miss out on that. I think it's gonna be really cool. I'm looking forward to doing it. It's very exciting. We also have coming up in March, at the end of March, I think I'm gonna do the 28th. I was thinking originally about doing the 27th, but I think I'm gonna do the 28th, which is a Saturday. That makes a little bit more sense, of launching the preview book for Reaper Destroyer issue 2. Now, I got the idea to do this from the preview book for The Darkness from the San Diego Comic-Con from last year, where it was all of Ed Ben's original pencils with full script. I was like, man, what an awesome idea. I haven't done that yet. I've done a black and white version of the book. I've done a black and white ash can. And obviously the full book, but I've never done a book where it's just like my pencils, my raw pencils with the script. So we're going to do this this is also going to be an experiment. This is all going to be on my site, superiorpresscomics.com, to see if I can drive enough people to this site to actually launch from this site. There are certain issues people are having with Indiegogo. Obviously, there are issues people have with Kickstarter. Fund My Comic is coming up, but there are also people out there that, everybody has issues with everything, right? So why not start driving all of the attention, all of the action, all of the backing to your own website, and then possibly still have things on Indiegogo, maybe like an exclusive cover here, an exclusive cover on Fund My Comic as well. But this is going to be the first thing. It's going to be the first campaign I run on my own website, March 28th. So I'll be streaming here March 28th to launch it. Probably have a bunch of friends on, have a good old time. This is 24 pages as well, 15 pages of story. Like I said, full pencils, full script, and a bunch of extras as well. So that'll be launching. We're going to have exclusive black covers. I think this is going to be limited to like 100 copies exclusively as black cover. I just thought this image looked badass. I was trying to find something for you comic book nerds that like me out there. If you guys remember in the 90s, there was a bunch of covers that came out that were like black covers except they did them a little bit differently. So I was trying to achieve that. I was trying to do like the Death Blow #1 reprint, or maybe it wasn't even the reprint. Maybe it was the original cover, but it was a black cover and you could see the image behind it. It was a little raised. I'm not going to do the raised aspect of it, but I was experimenting to see what I could do with it. And I popped up with this. I was like, man, this looks badass. Sean saw it. He's like, go with it. So we're gonna do it, and it looks badass. We are also gonna do something that's an experiment. All this is gonna be experiments. See what I can get away with on the main cover. There are, Kayla can tell you this too, as a comic book or comic shop gal. She knows the ins and outs, and I'm probably not even going to explain this correctly, so she'll probably correct me in the chat, but this is the best way I can say it. In comic shops, when you order a bunch of copies, you usually get like 1 in 25, 1 in 50, 1 in 100 exclusive covers for the comic shop. There's so many are made or whatever, and they usually upcharge it or whatever. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to experiment. One cover, one book, one cover, that's it. This book is going to go for $100. There's going to be only one made in existence with this cover on it. So if you buy it, you're going to be the only one that has this. It'll never be printed again. One cover. And if this works and people like that, I'm going to do it on the main book as well. Or we'll be like, when we get to 50 backers, I'll release the cover. Get to 100 backers, I'll release the cover, so on and so forth. If we're blessed to have that many backers, but it's all going to start here. I think it's a cool idea, and we'll see what people think. The black and white one, or this one, or the sketch one. Oh, this one? Yeah. If so, this was also, I'm just reusing an old image I had that I really liked when I was doing the Reaper Destroyer ash cans a couple years ago. Like a bunch of people ordered sketches with them. This is one sketch I did, and I always loved it. In fact, when I did it, I was like, I kind of don't want to give this away, but I did because somebody bought it. But I still own the rights for the image to publish it. So whoever's got this image, you're going to have the original art to a cover of a book as well. So I think it works out good for everybody. So it will be a 1 in whatever printing. Yes, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to be. 1 in whatever. For the main book, it might be like a 1 in 100 or whatever, or 1 in 50, 1 in 100. But for this, it's going to just be whatever it is, just to test it out. So check that out, guys. I think it's going to be pretty cool. March 28th. Don't miss it. Or miss it if you want. You know, do it. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, you guys aren't going to want to miss it. All right. Let me see. We got going on here. We got a lot of people streaming. I wanted to keep an eye on some the streams out there. It's become just busy all around. Shout out to anybody out there that's streaming. Oh, sorry. And DM pop up real quick. And building your channel. Here's something that's funny. Before I get into some serious talk here, that could be, controversial, I guess. It maybe. I'm going to present it in the best way. I think you guys are going to be surprised. I think somebody, if it rubs people the wrong way, it's going to rub people the wrong way. But I think you're going to be surprised. I'll try to keep things as diplomatic as possible. That's what I do. All right. Here's an interesting game if you want to play with your friends. Hopefully, if you are females, because you definitely don't want to play this if you are a guy. But saw this today on X, and this is an interesting way to open a champagne or wine bottle. And you tell me if you guys think this is going to work. Scribe Comics is in the house. Says, yo, Donnie, my white-skinned pal brother. Don, sorry. Here we go. Think she's going to get... Is this going to work? Is this going to work? I don't know. Oh, work. Wow. What would you guys do if you walked into a party and this is how they were opening up the champagne bottles? Would you think that maybe you were in for a good time that night? Maybe? I don't know. Possibly. Faster. Well, yeah, of course, Kayla, I mean, you would leave. Well, why would you leave? I mean, I don't think it's grounds to leave a party if that was the case. But I understand you being a female of the female species. Is that what we're going to call it? Might not be into that. I get it. That's cool. Teach their own. That's how Joe drinks all. Just don't hit the tip too hard. Yeah. Yeah. Do these girls know how to party or what? That's what that's what I'm saying. You walk into a party and you got all the girls in the kitchen, they're opening up the champagne, they're opening up the wine bottles. And you're already like, all right, cool, it's gonna be a fun night anyway. You know, drinking wine, drinking whiskey, drinking beer, whatever. And then you get that party trick. Now that's a hell of a party trick. I just have to say, shout out to them. I don't know where the concept, I don't even know who thought that up. I don't even know if that's real or possible. You never know these days. But I had to give a salute to the form and the speed of those ladies. Can't trust hoes. Why do they have to be hoes? Why does that automatically make a chick a hoe? You know, they could be very lovely ladies. They could be very lovely ladies dedicated to their husbands or their boyfriends, you know, doing good to the community, working hard. Maybe they're raising kids. They're great moms, and they just have a good party trick. Doesn't make them hoes. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told my girlfriend, no girls night out. Joe opens his pops that way, too. Well, I don't like to brag. You know? Red flag. I don't think anybody's going to agree with you in the chat here, Kayla. I think that's a green flag. If there's any flag, it's green. Time to go. Time to party. Let's roll. Those someone's drunk ants. I don't know. I'd be happy if I went into that party. Not now. I'm a married man, so that wouldn't be. But in the past, when I was a little bit younger, that might have been something where I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna get to know you a lot better before the end of the night. Alex says I twist the tip and let it gently pop off in my hand. Okay, that doesn't sound right. No, it didn't. That didn't sound right at all. But thank you for bringing that up. All right, Kale, if you want to talk about hoes before I get into serious conversation, I'm trying to lighten the mood here before I get into stuff. If you want to talk about hoes, let's talk about hoes. So if you guys missed it, there's this chick apparently going around. I've heard her name, seen some stuff on social media or whatever. It says breaking. OnlyFans legend. I don't know if legend is the right word here. Maybe whore. Maybe we go with whore with this one, Kayla. It says a legend, Bonnie Blue, just revealed that she is officially pregnant after sleeping with over 400 men unprotected at once in an attempt to see who would be the lucky father. Blue revealed that she's not quite sure what to do next and even got an ultrasound to confirm. I don't know how to take that. I don't know where we're going as a society when we're doing this kind of stuff. I don't think that this... I have a feeling... Let's stick with me here. I have a feeling that this woman is going to have a very, very sad end to her life. I'm not saying death. Don't get me... I'm not going morbid here. But this is clearly a fairly attractive, although her actions make her kind of disgusting. If you've seen a lot of stuff she does, she's disgusting in my mind. But fairly attractive woman, doing what you can, making some money. But if this is the only talent you have, as soon as you lose this, you got no money. You're gonna be broke. You're gonna probably be alone because who's gonna want to be with you after you've just been through 1,000 men probably at this point. I don't even know what the number is, but 400 if she actually did it. And I think a lot of this stuff could be just stunts, and maybe it's not even, maybe it's not even true with what she's doing. But I agree full-heartedly. There are a few people in this world that actually make my stomach turn when I see them. I hear their names. That woman is one of them. And I've seen a lot of stuff on social media about her, and it's this disgusting feeling you get when you see somebody like that. And I saw her a couple weeks ago when she was promoting this, and the whole promotion was that she was going to try to get pregnant by one of these guys, which makes no sense to me. Poor kid. That's what I'm saying. Slop Zombie. Poor kid indeed. Better if it was like Russian roulette who takes the cork. Yeah, that's Bonnie Blue, apparently. But her latest stunt, she banged or let 400 dudes banging her without protection. And now she is pregnant, which was her stated goal. So we'll see how that goes. Imagine being that kid growing up. Everybody's going to know at some point that you were the result of a gangbang. Some people don't think about shit, how that's going to affect their kids. I mean, that's just, yeah, the more I think about it, the more it annoys the piss out of me. That wasn't funny at all. Why did I share that? That actually got me annoyed. I generally feel sorry for Bonnie Blue. I do too, man. Yeah, poor kid. I agree. She has a Carfax. What kind of waste of life she's got if she's constantly putting herself through that shit? I know, right? And you know, she probably has some kind of daddy issues. It's got to be, right? There's got to be some kind of issue, some intimate issues that she had when she was younger to do all this. Or is it just society today because of things like OnlyFans or whatever that props these women up to make easy, cheap money? Because you have a lot of, you know, I mean, let's face it, guys. A lot of horny dudes out there that might not be able to get women or just like to, but why would you pay? There's so much free porn. If you really wanted to go that direction, why pay? It doesn't make any sense. Those wine poppers don't look so bad now. See, that's what I'm saying. Kayla wants to come on and judge the ants, you know, the drunk ants in the kitchen, doing a party trick to open up a wine bottle, calling them hoes. I was like, well, let's balance it here. Let's balance, you know, them or Bonnie Blue. What are you going to do? You know? I mean, just DNA test, the first 10 guys or so almost guaranteed to hit it or to have it hit. Probably. I'm told that she's got to be an absolute psychopath. Absolute psychopath. Rick Sales said the problem is the kids don't realize that the consequences might not be felt now, but one day they will come back to get you. That's 100%. That's just that. I mean, I guess you can't stop that, you know, but there should be something to stop it. Morals. A moral worldview might stop that. Got Michael Bancroft in the house. What's going on, brother? I got to get him back on the show. It's been a while. Bancroft is one of my favorite people in this entire place, in the entire world. And I miss talking to him. I've been talking to him a little bit. I got to get him on the show. Maybe we'll get him on the Grifts when we start that. Maybe we'll get him on Otten Stuff when we end Otten Stuff. Michael, I don't know if you noticed or if you heard, but we are ending Otten Stuff after 6 years. And I think one of our biggest bumps was going on your show when you had me and Sean on a few years back. I think that got us a giant bump, people coming in and sticking with us since then. But 6 years, Otten Stuff is ending. We're starting a brand new show with Kayla called The Grift. It's going to be pretty fun. So we might have to have you on for the final show. That would be fun. It says that's literally the origin story of Freddy. That's not even lying, though. It is. That is kind of the origin story of Freddy Krueger. That's a great point. The Art and Times of Jay Ryan's in the house. Said he's gonna. Oh, ho's gonna hoe. Don't mess with hoes. Yeah. Those kind of hoes aren't even good for a good like one night stand. Unfortunately, ruin it for all the hoes. That's what they're doing. Kayla says, "Oh, there will be some dude that will be with her. That's the truth." That's the truth. A lot of whores win twice. Some guys will think she's hot and feel lucky, or she's just gonna get a guy that's so desperate that he's not going to leave her, even though she's been ran through, rode hard and put away wet, as the old timers say. You know, but he'll just be like, "Oh, I'm luckiest guy. I'm 1000s. You know, I got the 1000s, and that'll be good for him." Hey, little fella, who's your dad? One of those 500 dudes. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. She feels power. That's why she does it. That's a great point. I mean, in general, women do have a power when it comes to their sexuality, because most guys are driven by their sexual needs, right? Especially puberty on through whatever. You know, you're driven by physical contact, visual stimulation, all that kind of stuff. And women have the power to wield when it comes to that stuff, unless you have the self-control, which most men do, you know. But there is a lot of power when it comes to the sexuality, and women that flaunt it, you know, they're going to do it. Great point. Social media is making attractive women legitimately insane. Yeah, and probably more mental issues as well. KO just said there are YouTubers who have done deep dives into Bonnie Blue and her backstory. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Like I said, I think a lot of that shit's got to be staged. It's got to be staged. If it's not, I don't know. Andrew for $2, thank you, my friend, says, speaking of, a new definition of Bancroft pump. Yeah. I grew up poor as fuck, but my family taught me pride and respect. Yeah, I've been there. I don't know if I was poor as fuck. I didn't come from a well-off family, but I never knew it, right? And that's why my parents were so great, that they never knew that we couldn't afford certain things, because they always worked their ass off to make sure that we had what we needed. You know, we grew up out in the country. We had a lot of stuff to go play out in the woods and that kind of shit. But yeah, same kind of boat, man. We were taught certain things as we were growing up. Our generation, now I feel old. Moving on. Jay Ryan says, like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. God. She's the final boss of whoredom. Oh, man, that's a great take, Kayla. That is a great point. She probably is, now that I think about it. Oof. Exactly, Joe. That's why whores win twice. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, I get you. Core, the Core 20. Shout out to the Core 20, by the way. Good to have you guys in the chat tonight, all around. We got 16 here in YouTube, 30 over on X. I don't know why the X stream has not really been displaying lately. A lot of people are saying they're not getting notifications for this channel either. So if you haven't subscribe. Hype videos if you can, guys. Share the videos out. Let people know about this channel. This channel has been really stagnant, and it's been a long time now. Like, I don't know how to break out of the algorithms when it comes to YouTube. So we just go on here. We do what we do. I love hanging out with the people that are here. So don't ever get me wrong. I am 100% satisfied with anybody that jumps in the chat and hangs out with any of our shows on this channel. You guys are awesome. And I mean, honestly, I'd probably stream if nobody was watching, just because I like the sound of my own voice. I talk to myself all the time because I'm just like, man, I'm so smart and the voice sounds good. I could drop it really low if I want to. I like it. But anyway, it makes it better that you guys are hanging out here with me. Shout out to you. KO Joe says she has joined the pantheon of British icons. Are there a lot of British whores out there? This kid is going to do a journey to find his dad like Carmen. Incel women is a new trend, actually. That's crazy, man. It is crazy. Even StreamYard is saying X isn't handling streams properly. Yeah, it's right up here. Yep. I just got that. But I feel like it was doing that beforehand. Maybe it took them a while to figure it out. But there's definitely something going on with StreamYard and X. You need to stream more. That's the problem. I know, man, but it's so hard to. That's what everyone says when you want to build a channel, release videos, a certain amount of videos every day, stream more. If I didn't work and I didn't have a full-time job, maybe that would be possible to do like a stream a day. You know, I don't know how Bancroft does it. But shout out to him. How's everything you guys are saying a win for this? Oh, how is anything you guys saying a win for this female? Yeah, you get money and find some guy, but the public stigma. How do these women live with themselves? Nothing. They don't. It's definitely not a win. I mean, it's a win in the short term, right? I'm sure she's making a lot of money because a lot of these women do make a lot of money. And that's probably what drives them. Attention, money, all that stuff. But eventually your looks are going to fade. Your tits are going to sag. Your ass is going to sag. And guys are not going to find that attractive anymore. And they're going to look for something else. Now you've lost your livelihood because all you did is build yourself up on your looks and your ability to suck a dick. That's pretty much what it is. No offense if anyone's listening out there. This is a family show after all. So yeah, no, she's going down. It's not going to be pretty when it actually happens. But I'm British, so are these peach British titties? Eyeballs? I don't know. All right. Oh shit! Yeah, no, I actually, you're right. I forgot you cut back to 3 days a week now. Hopefully that's still going good for you, as far as the numbers go and the subs. We will get back to making regular vids after my book is done. Nice. Looking forward to that, man. Looking forward to that. For Bonnie Blues Kid is going to be to me 2300 and me to find out who the dad is. God, that's disgusting. All right. Actually, let me kill the music. We're going to get to this next subject. All right. I'm going to tell you. Well, I got a couple of things, and then we'll do some advertisement as we do as well as we go here. No, I don't want to do the entire screen. Let's do this. Let me do a couple share. Let me do a couple shout outs here of just stuff. If you guys haven't yet, Shane Davis's King Kong vs. 232 Inglorious Rex campaign is live, and up to 11,000. You get this badass King Kong cover with 232 fighting. So check that out. That just launched not too long ago. You can also look for Black Riding Hood 2. 63 backers. It's got 13 days left on the final 30 days on that campaign. Now, a campaign I really want to bring up is this campaign right here, this sign-up sheet for Mondor's Rising. If you guys don't know what this is Zachary Maurice's book. You guys know, you should know Zach if you don't know, but he's been on my channel quite a bit. He used to stream quite a bit with the Gooch, with Jay's channel over there, always doing a lot of drawings, and that's kind of been his thing. He jumps on a stream, does drawings, all that kind of stuff. Fantastic artist. He is relaunching his book, Mondor's Rising. The reason why I am so excited about this book is this is the first time that my company, Superior Press Comics, is publishing somebody else's book, a creator-owned book that is not of my characters or my story or my art or anything in general. It's the first time we're doing this, but I want to because Zach is an awesome dude. He's got a badass story. Kayla can tell you, she's in the chat. I believe she's editing the book and probably helping out with some of the writing. I'm not sure. She's a very talented woman, so she's on board. If you know she's on board, this book is going to be very awesome. So sign up, Kickstarter. Mods, if you got the link, please drop that in the chat. But this is the first book Superior Press is going to be publishing, and I couldn't be happier to be publishing Mondor's Rising and Sondaron, which is, I think, the ash can that he's got attached to this. But check this out and definitely go support this when it launches. I think it's going to be sometime later in the year, maybe July, maybe September. I got a couple other things I'm announcing that we are going to be launching throughout this year. So it's going to be a busy year, but this is definitely a book to go and support right now. There we go. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. See, Sheldon is dropping that as well. Sign up now. Let's go. Let's do it. You will love it. You will love it. It's a sci-fi adventure with Lovecraftian horror elements. What's not to like about that? You know what I want to say about Zach before I jump into what I want to talk about? The resilience that Zach has as a creator. If you guys don't know, he has been through this process before. He's had 2 failed campaigns, I think, before this. And a lot of people might give up on that. A lot of people might be discouraged and go different directions. But Zach retooled. He took a step back. He took a chance to look at his property, look at his story, retool things, and go at it again. So you got to love somebody that never quits, you know. Never give up, never surrender, as Tim Allen would say. The art is killer. It's Zach's best work. It really is. I've seen Zach level up quite a bit over the year or so that he's been doing the Spawn review with us. So very excited to have him on board at Superior Press, putting this book out. But with that being said, Zach has been making the rounds, talking to people, trying to promote his book, doing the things that he needs to do as a creator does. He was on the studio last night. If you guys haven't seen that, go check that out on Don's channel. They did a lot of awesome art of Sondaron. I saw the guy John Apple was putting stuff out. I saw Don's work that he put out. You guys did some really cool art of the character last night, including Zach, who drew a badass picture as well. Very talented dude. All you guys are. It's cool. Check that show out for sure. Yeah, he also went to Kubert school, that's for sure. It's very intelligent and professional. Well, yes, we're going to promote him here. He's very professional, except when he doesn't do the reading. Zach's art looks more articulate from the last time he launched his book. Yeah, no, he's really stepped up, pushed his game going forward, Here you go, guys. Go check that out. Studio episode 71. If you guys want to watch the entire show. Leading me to this, I don't have any personal beefs with anybody at all. In general, I try to keep it really cool with a lot of people. I don't shit on people. I don't go to war with anyone. But that being said, that's not going to stop me from giving my opinions on things when I think something was out of line or unprofessional in this manner. So just before I bring this up, I just want to know that the person I'm going to talk about is not a personal beef, nor do I want any animosity towards him or any way of that. In fact, I've been on the show before. He's a nice dude. He's never said a bad thing about me, and I'm not going to say a bad thing about him. Although I did not appreciate a certain thing that happened in an interview that Zach had. Before I bring that up, I just want to bring this up real quick. So I'm talking about John's long box out there. And again, this is not a personal shot. John, if you're listening to this is not a personal shot towards you whatsoever. However, I have an issue with a question that you asked Zach in the live stream that he did. Now, I want to bring this up as reference right here. So this was something he posted, I think actually the day after they did the stream together. And I've already talked to Zach about this. You know, I told him, like, look, dude, I'm going to talk about this because I'm publishing this book, and it's just, I got to get this off my chest. And we're going to do it live. John says, shouldn't it be controversial opinion. Crowdfunding is for buying a product to help minimize risk. It's not for funding your lifestyle. Now, here's the thing. You can have whatever opinions you want out there about certain things. I'm not going to argue with that. Your opinion is your opinion, and so on and so forth. I will say that I think there are different opinions amongst the crowdfunding people out there based on who you are, circles you might find yourself in, and personal opinions. But there are no rules when it comes to crowdfunding. People like to make rules, try to put other people in boxes when it comes to rules, but crowdfunding is really kind of, it's what you make of it. And you as the backer, you as the supporter of the book can choose to put your money anywhere you want to help fund people's books. Now with this interview, I can't go full screen apparently. I'm just going to play this little part here. We're not going to go through a lot of it, but just I'm going to play this part right here. Let me know if you guys can hear it, but I'm going to tell you why I take a little exception to this. And we're going to do a little bit of commentary on here as we go. Here we go. So right there, I want to say I have an issue with this question, and this is why. This is a personal opinion of yours, John, that you have, and you have the right to have it. You know, you have the right to have it. You have the right to talk about it on your channel, on your social media, whatever you want. But you're running an interview right now with someone who is trying to sell a book, and someone that stays out of a lot of drama, doesn't get involved in a lot of things, and wants to sell his book to as wide open of an audience as possible. And you're asking him a pretty controversial question and him to weigh in on something that he should not have to weigh in on a interview or a shill show to get his book out there. It's one of my biggest issues I have with this question. To me, it's highly unprofessional to ask it. I don't think it should have been asked at all. We didn't hear Joe. Again? No sound. Okay. It's muted. All right. Let me bring this up. Bring it up on another one. Exit this. And bring it up here. Killing my points here. Killing my points. You said I'm muted or John, or that's muted. Okay. We'll bring it up on this one. This should be good. And like I said before, this is not a shot at John personally. John, I got nothing wrong with you at all. But I do have an issue with this question. All right. Let me back it up for you guys just a little bit.
So, I'm always trying to get some issue, trying to get pages done back to.
And by the way, shout out to Zach. You did a great job. You're doing a great job with all these promotions.
I'm getting facial
that you're doing.
reconstruction surgery to fix my underbite.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna be.
So I'm going to ask you a controversial question here. All day long, I've been seeing on Twitter and whatever people talking about crowdfunding. What is your philosophy in crowdfunding? Is it buying a comic, or is it funding somebody's lifestyle?
Okay, that's what I wanted to play before.
I know that.
Shout out to Zach for a second. That's what I wanted to play. Just the question. Now let's get back to what I was saying. I have a problem with this question because it was highly inappropriate, in my opinion. Very unprofessional to ask this question to somebody that's going on to promote their book to as many people as possible, staying out of drama as much as you can. And we all know that there's a lot of drama on social media these days. There's a lot of drama in crowdfunding. There's drama in Comicsgate, Rippaverse, all that stuff. And there are people that have taken the YouTube stream is muted. There's no way it's muted. The look on Zach's face. All right. Is this one currently muted? It's good now. All right. Okay. I got different people telling me in the chat different things. It played with sound that time. Okay. All right. He's trying to take a jab at the Kings. Not cool to do to any guest. See, here's the thing. And that's what I wanted to bring up here. Opinions are fine. Have your opinions. Do your thing. You want to go on your own stream like I do here and address drama, you're more than welcome to do it. To have somebody on your stream, though, that is trying to promote their book and then ask him a loaded question like this, that is forcing him to almost take a stand, right? And this is where you got to draw the line. This is your own personal thoughts. This is your personal beef, most likely with whoever is going to be. And you're asking your guest to weigh in on something that he cares nothing about, should not be involved in one bit, and you want an answer. Oh, fine. Thank you. You're lagging. All right. Well, you throw me all off, man. Yeah, just try to sell books. Yeah. All right. Asking what's your take on crowdfunding is perfectly fine. Adding the rest is, yeah, thank you. That's my point. It's a loaded question. You stop at what's your take on crowdfunding, right? Because we all have different takes on crowdfunding. Like we said, we can have an in-depth conversation on backers, on creators. What do you feel about crowdfunding? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of different opinions. That's the interesting thing about crowdfunding is there's no real set rules that anybody follows. It's each creator does their own thing, and it's up to the backers to decide if they want to back said projects or stick with these creators. Yeah, Zach was there to promote, not to politicize. So I'm going to play this a little bit longer because I want you guys to hear. Zach does actually a really good answer, but I felt like this is not something you expect to have in this interview, especially when you know the tensions are so high. And I'm going to play this a little bit more, and I just want to explain a little bit more of why this upset me when I heard it when I was listening to the interview the next day.
Give me a second.
It's going to get you in trouble no matter what you say. So,
see, look right there. I don't find that funny. That is not a joking matter. It's not funny because there are people out there that are beefing hard with each other. You know, there are factions out there that no matter what side you fall on, you could lose support just because you say, I associate with this person or whatever. Take myself, for example. You know, I was invited to be a CG King. I went on to the Kings. I know I lost support from a lot of people. I know because I got messages, people telling me that. They're like, dude, I like you, but I can't support what you're doing as long as you're on the Kings. Fine, fuck off. It's kind of my opinion with that stuff. When people start worrying about who you're associating with and then judging your character on that, or coming and saying like I can't support you anymore, or all that kind of stuff. To me, that's a measure of control that somebody is trying to have over you by using financially. Like, I'm not going to give you $25 anymore because you are going on so and so stream, or you are associated with this person. That stuff doesn't fly with me. And if that's the case, I'm like, it is what it is. I'm not going to beg someone to stick around to support me or to support the things I do. If you disagree with some of the stuff I do, it's your right to walk away. And I could give a shit. You don't have to tell me about it. Just go. It's the same thing as Blue Boy Comics jumping in here the other week and saying, I'm no longer supporting anybody that voted for Donald Trump. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. What's that supposed to, is that supposed to scare me into being like, oh shit, I better change my ways. I better change my ways to satisfy you better because you are going to give me some money. That shit pisses me off. In fact, when I'm told not to do something is usually when I do that harder. So congratulations. That's where you push me with a lot of things. And it's just a shout out to everybody that did support me. People that still support me, I appreciate you. If you supported me at one point and then decide not to because I became a CG king, Comicsgate king, then fine. Whatever. Do your thing. That affects me not one bit. But here, this just kind of reminds me a little bit of a virtue signal, so to speak. This is, let's just test the waters and see where this person lies, because this could be somebody that I either support or I don't support for various reasons. And I think that's shitty. I think it's shitty to ask somebody on an interview when they have no purpose whatsoever to even want to weigh in on that. Rick Saylor says, I don't support the Kings, but I know Joe's a solid guy and always have his back. Well, thank you, Rick. But here's the thing. I said this earlier on the show. Like, if we are allowing ourselves to not support people because they associate with people that we don't like, then that's, to me, it's a major weakness that we have, because now you are judging somebody that you know, and now thinking that they have changed in some way because they're doing something that you don't approve of anymore. That's weakness on your part, not their part. So I walk away from that shit as much as I can, and I don't give a fuck. I really don't. And I promise, there's somebody I promise I want to say sorry for the language. Because I promised a certain person that I was going to start pulling back of the language I have on this show. But there are certain times when I get a little heated and I just drop the F-bomb, because that's what I'm used to doing. And this has got me heated. This has got me annoyed. Andrew says, this isn't a catch-22. Zach has nothing to do with this, and this is just trying to get a comic over the line who's using crowdfunding to fund the lifestyle. All right, let's go on with this, because, again, this was not a funny question, and laughing it off like it is, especially when you see Zach here. Zach handled this great, by the way. Talk to him. He was not, worried whatsoever about this. Handled it like a professional, because that's what Zach does. But, again, should not have been asked it.
It's either. It's both. I mean, yeah, you're funding the lifestyle of an individual who's trying to make comics, but at the same time, you're also buying a book. Like, you're getting a comic, but you're giving the opportunity to a creative who needs the funds that a publishing company is not picking that said creative up.
Fantastic answer. Leave it at that. That should be it. Move on. Question that should not have been asked in the first place. Good answer. Move on to something else, because this is not a subject that needs to be talked about. Zach has no idea what you're talking about. You can tell in this. He's trying to figure out exactly where you're coming from, but he has an inkling that this is probably murky territory to get into, especially the way that you set it up. Great answer. Move on from it. Unfortunately, that's not where it goes. Yeah, but Rob was the one who was vocal about using the money to live on out. Yeah, there is that. That happened for sure. Support you double for voting for Trump. Well, thank you, my friend. I don't support a few, but I don't fight with them. I just don't back them. And that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You put your money where you want to put your money. You don't want to support someone anymore. You don't have to, you know. But to try to control somebody, that's my thing. To try to control somebody because of money, and this has happened since I started crowdfunding. This happened as soon as you get an argument. I used to do this all the time. I stopped for a while. As entertaining as it is, because I like to troll people online, I had to stop after a while. But you get in arguments with people on social media over nothing. It could be a political post. It could be something about a movie. And now you're going back and forth. And of course, these people are way more emotional than you are about stuff. And then you start trolling them, you start pushing them, and then eventually you piss them off. And then they try to drop that hammer. They come at you and they're like, well, I supported your book. I don't know if I want to support you anymore. And I'm just like, fuck off, man. Thanks for supporting the book. But that doesn't give you any power over me or any influence on anything I do or anything that we said in this conversation that had nothing to do with the book. Here's your refund. Have a nice life. So who you want or who you don't want to support, but don't drag them into anything. That's a fact. That's a fact. 100% Joe. That's why we love you. Thank you. Zach did a great job. John kept pushing. He was trying to F him up. I don't buy the patriarch because I still don't know what the fuck it's even about. So many creators and channels don't communicate the story. No, that's a big thing. And I don't want to shit on his book either. This is not me trying to attack John in any way or trying to downgrade what he's doing or put down his book and what he's trying to do as passion, livelihood, all that kind of stuff, because we're all doing the same thing. I just had an issue with this question that you're asking because you're taking your beef and you're trying to put that into somebody else. And it's almost like a purity test to see where you stand, and Zach handled it really good, but that should have been the end of it right there. Bad question, great answer. Let's move on. Unfortunately, that's not what happens.
So instead of waiting on the creative's like, yeah, I'm going to make this said product, but I'm going to depend on people to determine that.
Would you crowdfund somebody who's never going to make a book just to support their lifestyle?
It's another horrible question. Why ask that? You presented this subject that nobody probably wanted to talk about, especially if you're a creator and you're trying to sell your book. Most likely, you're probably hoping to go on every stream you can go on to promote because that's what you have to do as a creator. And you stay out of the drama. And now you're being brought in and you're being pressed. It's not just the one question, it's the follow-up question. It's like, I need to get an answer. For what reason? To satisfy, what John wants to hear out of somebody? That makes no sense to me. Horrible questions. This is an example of what not to do when you're having an interview with somebody. Have a stream, have your buddies on, stream all you want, have a conversation. That's fine and dandy. When you have a guest on, highly unprofessional to ask these questions.
Ask me that again.
So would you crowdfund me just to support my life, but I'm not making a book?
No, I wouldn't.
Right.
But
so
it would go hand in hand, would it not? Because
so my
somebody's lifestyle.
I don't also like that Zach's trying to answer the question as best as he can, and John's talking over him to try to be like, let me convince you another way.
Who's crowdfunding a comic is with the intention to making the product of which they are backing.
Right. So you're buying a book.
Holy shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Buying a comic book or
Yeah.
buying a board game or buying a whatever, a pair of shoes or whatever. So whenever these
this comment right here by RJ Williams, it's buying a comic. Why would I want to fund someone's lifestyle? I have a job for my lifestyle. I think there is an interesting conversation within that. I have a full-time job as well. That funds my lifestyle, pays my bills, allows me to live and provide for my family. One day I would love comics to be able to do that. Right now it can't. But if it did, then I'd be all for it. And so when you're thinking about that, am I allowed to? With this kind of thinking, am I allowed to potentially one day be extremely successful off of my own fucking hard work to have the money coming in that I can sustain my lifestyle, which means taking care of my family, feeding my kid, buying her the things that she needs, providing for my wife. Is that something I'm allowed to do with this kind of thinking? Or is that off limits? It's a serious question I want answered out there. With the money you bring in from crowdfunding, are you allowed to take that and to provide for your family? Or is that funding my lifestyle?
Funders say, "Oh, you're supporting my lifestyle." My response is, "Who the f are you?"
Who the fuck are you? The question goes both ways, right? We can sit here on stream, much like I'm doing, and we can say what we want to say because we have a voice. But it's the same kind of question when you're asking, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck is anybody? This is crowdfunding is to help a creator get a book out there. If they are blessed enough to make a decent amount of money where maybe they have a chance to pay off some debt, you know, buy a house, buy their daughter something really nice for their birthday, who's to say that they're not allowed to? That's not funding a lifestyle. There are some people that do this for a living. Yeah, most of us have to work 40-hour jobs or maybe more a week. There are people out there that actually have the ability to do this for a living. Probably not their only source of income. They probably do commissions and all that kind of stuff, but this is how they live. This is how they provide for their family, for themselves, pay bills, survive. Crowdfunding is just like anything else. Business. You're bringing in money. You have to be smart with that money. You have to take care of the fans, the backers. You have to produce what you're doing. And I know there's all questions out there about late books and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes books take a long time to make. Sometimes the quality is worth waiting for. But do you get to sit here and tell somebody what to do with that money or not? If you are getting what you paid for, then no, in my opinion, you don't. You have the ability to not back that person again. If they rub you the wrong way, if you don't like them, you don't like their product, you have more of a right to be like, I'm not spending my money on that person anymore. Walk away. That's it. That's all you got to do. This whole idea of I'm not spending money for someone's lifestyle is one of the most ignorant things I think I've heard said in these circles. I'll get off my soapbox for a second, see what you guys are saying. Cocaines and hookers. Party, let's go. If you're a professional comic creator, your comic sales are your livelihood. That's 1,000% facts, Kayla. To be fair, the crowdfunding is for the production of the book, not golf carts, etc. I will agree with you to a point on that, Jay Ryan. Funding of the book, yes. Fund the book, ship the book, get it into the hands of your backers. That's the obligation. The money that's left over, nobody has a right to say what a creator does with that. If they want to turn it around and put it into their business, which a lot do, they want to turn around and put it into another book or make more books, hire more talent, they can do that. If they want to take that chunk that's left over and catch up on some bills, who the hell is anybody to say they can't do that? And nobody knows what they spend the money on. Most people just sit here and they speculate, probably in back rooms. You know, everybody that's upset about something gets together in a circle and becomes a big old circle jerk of everybody mad. And then you look at certain stuff and like, oh, you know, this or that. They shouldn't do that. Who are you? John just said it. Who are you?
Are you an EMT? Why are you so special? You make comic books. Get over yourself. I don't care about your lifestyle. You know, putting pictures of yourself smoking cigars, eating steaks. That you're asking people for money for a comic book. fund my lifestyle. I want to smoke cigars. So do I, but I got a backbreaking construction job. I got friends who are EMTs. They have to go to work, so I'm crowdfunding. I'm asking people to, and I feel bad about it, to pay for a comic book that they're going to get in a few months. You know what I mean? Like, screw my lifestyle. Nobody's funding my lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I get so mad when I hear people say, like, oh, I'm creative, fund my lifestyle. No, screw your lifestyle. You want a better lifestyle, make more books. So
I mean,
it sounds like professional jealousy to me. It's the haves and have-nots, right? It's the people that look at other people that have a lot of money, and maybe you think that you should be there as well. I get it. I look at creators that are making $200,000, $500,000, $1 million on their books. I'm like, fuck, that would be awesome. Why not me? I'm talented. I got a great book. But it just comes off as jealousy. You still got to work hard. You know why some of these guys have big crowdfunders, sell a lot of books, make a lot of money? Most of them put in decades of work establishing themselves in an industry, grueling hours as comic book artists or creators, developing a fan base that has followed them into crowdfunding. That's why they get the big numbers. People trust them over years of hard work. I get that you construction worker, EMTs, all the hard work and jobs out there. I get it. Let's not pretend, though, that guys that have spent time in the industry do not have a hard job. If you know anything about comic book artists, especially when you're younger, you're doing 16, 17, 18, 20-hour days drawing. You don't have much of a life out of drawing comic books. That is the grind to make money. And a lot of times it's not that much money when you think about it. So if somebody wants to go on and make a book, get lots of money, praise the people that got that book for them. As I've never heard somebody talk bad about the fans that have backed them when it comes to providing them with their lifestyle, what they can afford, what they have now turned their life into. And now we're going to jump on people because they want to post pictures of smoking a cigar, which I'm sure you're talking about Graham Nolan. It's the only guy I can think of that smokes a cigar. Maybe Billy Tushy, but I feel like you're probably more talking about Graham Nolan. We want to jump in now on we're seeing them do these things, and we perceive this to be out of the ordinary because they have a ton of money now, and it came from somebody else, and now they're living high while you're living low. That's what I feel like. It's like, I'm down here trying to get by with my, 10,000, 15,000, whatever it might be, which is, by the way, thrilling. If all of my campaigns could make $10,000 to $15,000, let's go. That would be awesome. But now I'm looking up at the bigger guys being like, oh, you know what? Man, that 100K looks good. They don't deserve that. I deserve that. Me, Joe Sonntag. I deserve what they have because reasons, I guess. It doesn't make sense. It stinks of jealousy for somebody else and self-pity. Why did the Image guys do with their earnings? They got the books and the merchandise out, but then they used the excess how they saw fit. Yeah. And that's any business. Any business that's out there, you use your money how you see fit. Whether it's wisely or not, that's on you. Maybe you grow your business, maybe you lose your business, but that's still on you. That's money brought in, and it turns into profit. Now, there are people out there that think that money shouldn't be used on anything except for books, which doesn't make sense to me. And I'd have to ask them this question. If they were in a position where their crowdfunding blew up and they had $30,000, $40,000 left over after they have fulfilled their book, are you going to tell me that you're staring at that chunk of money and you're going to put every cent of that into the next book or to expand your company when you're looking at your water bill raising, your electric bill raising, your grocery bills raising, your kids coming up, they need a dentist surgery, braces or whatever, your car just went out, And you're going to tell me you're going to look at that $30,000-$40,000 that's sitting there, maybe more, and not be like, oh, I can't, I can't, guys, I can't use it. I'm sorry. I got to put that money on the next book. I'm not, sorry, guys, can't do it. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It makes no sense. It's a weak as fuck argument. Bancroft says, I paid off credit card twice through the crowdfunding and poker. Hey, there you go. Get that money from poker, man. That puffy shirt was a gift. That's right. Pirate shirts. Yeah, Jack Kirby. For sure. Yeah, and I love hearing that. I love hearing the fact that you could do that. I did the same thing. I paid off debt with the money I made from Reaper Destroyer. I was able to invest some of it into talent and get some other books started. But I had some money, I had some debt to pay off. And it was because of that crowdfunding, because I was blessed to make $75,000 or whatever it was, that after the books were fulfilled, I had some money I could use to make life a little bit easier. It's probably why I sit here and get a little heated when I hear anybody that trying to sit here and control that ability with some kind of their moral standard when it comes to that money. That is my lifestyle. My life is my fucking lifestyle, right? My family is my lifestyle. Whatever I do is no business of anybody's. And it's a sense of like entitlement when I hear this stuff. It's kind of it. I know I'm kind of getting heated on this conversation. I have no personal issues with John whatsoever. And I'll say that again, so it's not misconstrued. I'm not saying don't back his book. Go back his book. Support him. Support everybody out there that's doing creative stuff. Just don't put these rules, these made up rules on people, and then try to stay steadfast to them because you are some kind of moral superiority when it comes to the subject matter.
I hear that. Absolutely. I mean, I get where you're coming from. Absolutely. I guess it's really just depending on the wording of it. I mean, at the end of the day, the whole point that somebody's going to a crowdfunding platform is to fund a product that they're trying to make. So that right there, in essence, is where the answer lies.
No, because when you say that I'm funding your lifestyle, that means that you're whatever money you're taking in, you're paying your mortgage, you're buying food, you're paying groceries with. It's like, no, whatever you take it in is going to make that product. And then once the last package is in the mail, then you get to keep that profit. You know,
so there's contradiction there, John. If you're saying it's okay to keep that profit afterwards, then if somebody's really good at managing their money, which a lot of these guys are, and if you're professional at it, you know what it's going to cost from experience to produce the amount of orders you have, the amount of books that you have. You can figure that shit out real easy. Well, Indiegogo has been a little weird now, but the old Indiegogo, you can figure that out real easy. Crunch numbers, estimate, you know what printing is going to cost. You can estimate shipping. You can estimate all this shit. And you can look at that money and you can say, I know that I have enough to do everything I need. And this is an estimate, probably what I have left over. And knowing that, I can pay my mortgage this month. Are you going to tell them that they can't? They're not allowed to do that?
No, and if you want more money, if your lifestyle is that vast, you better be top of your game. You know what I mean? Like I could draw with crayons. I'm creative. So do I deserve to have my lifestyle funded? You know?
Yes. Yes, you do. That's the point, John. You do deserve to have your lifestyle funded. You deserve to have your life funded if you can raise those funds to fund that lifestyle. Absolutely, 100% you do. Do it. Apex says, Joe, I remember in 2020 when the first time creator made $20K in crowdfunding, it's reduced quite a bit. It has. It 100% has. I was just talking to Sean the other day about the crowdfunding platform. Those days are done. They're gone. Those big launch days are gone. Bringing in tons of money is gone for various reasons. The economy, there's oversaturation of crowdfunding, disappointment with how long it takes to crowdfund. There's all these things you can have legitimate conversations on here. Don't think I'm sitting here trying to paint a rosy picture of what crowdfunding is or can be. There's problems across the board. You got to look at every crowdfunder is a business. Everybody runs their business a little bit different. Some are going to be better than others. Some are going to be absolute disasters, which we have seen. And others are going to be giant successes as well. I would need new underwear if I had to execute. Milk carton. Some are on unsolved case. Yeah. There are some crowdfunding that unfortunately probably are never going to get. But again, that goes back to you have the power to just not back, to take your money and do what you want with it. That's the ability, the power that you have. That's your money. You can choose not to spend that in the future on that person. You can ask for a refund, whatever that might be. That's on you. No one's taking that away from you. I'm not sitting here saying that you can't do that as the backer. So I don't expect somebody to sit here and tell me as a creator what I can and cannot do. This is just what it boils down to. I think a lot of this is with a lot of these people, the conversation is you feel like you have some kind of power or control over a backer the creator because you gave him money. I've run into people like that. Like I said, I've had people threaten to demand a refund because they didn't like something I said. That's when you kind of get to that point where it's just like, hey, I like the money. I like having it. But if it's that important to where you think you have exerted some kind of power over me because that $25 or whatever it might be, you can have it back. I give them a refund and we move on. It goes both ways. I don't tell you what to do with your money. Don't tell a creator what they can and cannot do with money after it's been fulfilled. Comics campaigns that have not been fulfilled, that's open game. If it's been 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever, you haven't heard from these people before, there's no updates. I mean, hell, I know I'm never getting Shinobi Sasquatch. I spent $100, I think, on that campaign. I just checked that up as a loss. But you know what I won't do is I won't back that creator again if they ever come back around. And that's how I use that power. Bancroft said, without knowing for sure, I would guess that John would agree that the profit is yours to do with as you will. I'm guessing he's talking about people who aren't fulfilling despite not or saying that. It might be. And maybe he needs to clarify himself a little bit better. And again, that opinion is absolutely his own and he can have it. He can have that opinion. I would not argue with him one bit about that. I will argue with the fact that you are engaging in a conversation with another creator that's trying to sell his book to absolutely everybody he can sell, and you are bringing him into something he doesn't need to be a part of. That's what I would argue with here. Apex says, no, Longbox is business of what people make from crowdfunding. Yeah, facts. Rick said, well, technically, if someone tells me all they need to fulfill a book is $20K and then don't deliver and gives us shit about it when we bitch, go fuck off. It only works if the person delivers the book. I agree. I do agree. And I do agree that some books take longer than others. That's just the cold, hard truth of it. Making comic books is not easy, especially if you're an artist writer. Depends on what you want to give to the public. Most of the time, artists like me, I want to give you the absolute best I have in those pages. And sometimes that's going to take a little bit longer to draw because I know that you deserve my absolute best for the money that you spent on my project. I could pump out stuff a lot faster. Would it look as good? Probably not. Now, there's certain people out there that don't really care about the art and they only really care about the story. Maybe that's fine with you guys. But I have an ego. I want to produce the best stuff I can produce. Lifestyle, dude, has fallen so far. And again, I'm not here to attack John. I got no problems with him personally. As far as I know, him and I have always been cordial. I've been on his show. I think I've had him on my show before. And I want him to be successful. I want everybody out there that crowdfunds to achieve your goals, to be successful, whatever side of the aisle you might stand on. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, you gotta leave that baggage when you're having a conversation with somebody who's coming on your show. I would never have somebody on my show and then ask them a question that would put them in a hard spot to answer the question. I would never do that. That's not my place. That's not what I'm here for when I'm platforming somebody in their book. It's sad because Zach is here just trying to get his book funded first. And now John is essentially asking Zach to pledge to not use any money whatsoever. I mean, kind of, but I think it's just more. I think some of this might just be a feeling out to see, like, where do you stand on this? Like, you somebody that's going to be like kind of in my corner. Or you're going to be in somebody else's corner when it comes to that stuff. To me, it's a little bit more a purity test. It's kind of a purity test, when you think about it. And it depends on the answer you give, right? I mean, even John tries to clarify it in this. He's like, I'm not trying to, paint Zach bad or tell him you shouldn't support him. He even gives Zach a bunch of flowers, which he should, because Zach's a great guy and a great creator. But it's just, if that's going to be the case, why don't you skip all of that and just go to that? Just give him his flowers. Don't bring him in on this conversation. My thought process is that, you have a group of people that beef with other people, and you want to promote this guy to that group. So you're trying to get that support based on what Zach says. Now, if Zach was to come out and say, oh, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Let me name drop some people I don't associate with these people. Then you did your job. Then you're like, all right, guys, everybody, this is the guy. We're all going to support him because not of his book, not of his hard work, but because he agrees with us on certain stuff. That's what it seems like to me. Sorry, I lost track of the chat there for a second, guys. There are a lot of backers who feel like they're owned their pound of flesh for backing a book and act like they are doing you a favor. Yeah. And I try to go out of my way to make sure that all the backers know how much I appreciate them for supporting me. I'm sure a lot of creators do the exact same thing, but that's as far as it goes. You support me. I appreciate you. I couldn't have done it without you. But as far as telling me what I can and cannot do because you gave me money, that's not it. Apex says, I spent money on 2 copies of Snowy Sasquatch. It was like the $80 bundle or something like that. I probably ended up spending close to 100 with, shipping and all that kind of stuff. I was kind of disappointed too, because that art looked badass, and Rob has only gotten better as an artist. So we'll see. I have over 1K in missing monies. Yeah, no, it does suck. And again, like I said, that is more of a reason for you to sit here and not back who you don't want to back going forward, 100% John's taking jabs towards EVS, wanting to see what side he was on. That's what I'm thinking. You've got your personal beefs, you have your personal beefs. No need to drag Zach into it.
So that's my pet peeve is once they start saying fund my lifestyle, I'm not backing your book.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody. I don't think I've ever came across somebody that
I'm keeping my mouth shut because every time I talk about this, I'm on a trash cast.
I mean, when you say that kind of stuff, that's the kind of thing is it's hyper polarizing to beef with the Kings. It's just what it is. And wherever you stand on that is where you stand on it. I don't really care. But when you're bringing a creator into that and putting him into that conversation, scenario for you. What if nobody has heard of Zach? They don't know his book, but they're big into the beef between certain creators. And they happen to see a clip of this conversation hit social media. You don't really know Zach, but maybe you just assume that he's on board with everything John's saying here, right? Without his responses. You have now formed an opinion about Zach. Be like, oh, he's just another one of those guys. I'm not going to back his book. That's money you just took out of Zach's pocket by asking this question. Sure, there's a flip side. Maybe there's someone on here that's like, oh, he's one of us. I'm going to back his book. So maybe he did put some money into his pocket. Or maybe you could have avoided the entire thing by not even asking the question.
It's oh, okay. I haven't had anybody. I haven't seen anybody say like fund my lifestyle. I've never heard that phrase. Honestly, I just
RJ Williams said, fund my lifestyle so I don't have to be a firefighter or paramedic anymore. Yeah. If you have talent, William, whether it's to draw, whether it's to write, whether it's to sing, act, dance, or whatever, put your talent on display. If people give you money and you don't have to do that job anymore, absolutely. Fund that lifestyle. Everybody's got talents that God gave them. If you use it for a living, fund that lifestyle. So yeah, do it. Do it so you don't have to be a firefighter / paramedic anymore. Use that talent if you got it.
What's his name? Rob Hunter from Death Raider. That was his thing. Graham Nolan said, "Oh, we're funding our lifestyles." I said,
I mean,
I like you guys, but I don't care about your lifestyle. You know.
I mean, it's probably just like
That's
so.
a good point.
You look at it this way, right? Because this is how I attribute it. A lot of these guys, they're flashy and catchy. They're not like in order to sell the product that they're
Agreed,
trying to
Kayla.
push.
Agreed.
They're also trying to sell their personality to get you. It goes hand in hand. Like let's because I've
Zach
seen it.
gets
For
it here.
example,
Zach gets it here. When you are selling a book, when we do shows like this, when you go on and promote your stuff, you're not just promoting a book, you're promoting yourself. There's tons of people that I've backed before that was really not interested in their book, but I like the person in general. I was like, you know what? This is a good dude. The book really isn't for me, or maybe I didn't like the art, or maybe I just didn't even think the book was very good at all. But I like this guy and I'd like to see him succeed. So I'm going to give my money to him to help that out. Personality is a big thing, not just a book. People want to kind of strip that away when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's a big part. You go on these streams, you show your personality, you show who you are, you sell yourself as well as selling the book. That's a big thing. And Zach gets it.
I remember when I first started Kickstarter and I was streaming on shows. Grant, I was green around the gills and whatnot, so I was learning a lot.
Shout out
in
D-Wag.
terms of podcasting and just streaming.
Was it really?
To have a better personality, like or just.
I see you now.
Man, I'm trying to. I got it. So I work at Town Fair Tire, right? You go in there because you need what? You need tires for your car that are balding.
Right.
You go in there, yes, you need tires. But the person you want to buy the tires from, you want to have a positive interaction with that individual. Right. So if they have a very great personality, they're fun, they're energetic, they are flashy, and at that point, you don't give a shit about what tire brand they're trying to sell you, because not only did you went in there and you bought tires, but you also had a great experience. So the same rules apply when it comes.
Yeah, but you wouldn't go in there without if they didn't have tires.
Right. Yeah, you went exactly, but the same rules
I can also
apply
go to
for
19
comics.
other guys to get the tires, but
you could.
I choose you because you have good tires and you're fun. I get that.
I mean, realistically speaking, like anywhere, any tire place you go to is.
Zach makes good points. Zach understands what's going on. He makes good points. He handled this perfectly, in my opinion. He's not mad at it, by the way. This is not me trying to white knight for Zach, even though I'm publishing his book. That's just not Zach. He's hyper focused on putting this book out and doing the best he can to be a success. This upset me personally. I told him I was going to talk about this tonight. I was just like, I don't want this to be blowback on you at all, or have you worry about any of this stuff. But I have to say this because I was not appreciative of seeing this, especially when I'm publishing this book. I didn't like the answer. I didn't like the questions. Rick Saylor says, I don't bring my anger onto people's channels that don't deal with anger. It's not cool to the hosts or viewers to bring your shit to their show, etc. Or each show is different. Act accordingly to each other. Yeah, that's Rick and I have had so many conversations. I know exactly where he stands with a lot of things and with a lot of people. And he's been on my show tons of times. And he's done just that. He's been very professional. He's kept his stuff out of it when he knows that that's not what the show is about. Because that's what you do. That's what you do when you're a guest. That's what you do when you're a host. If you want to have a hangout show, that's what that stuff is there for. Professional show where you're promoting somebody, keep it professional is all I'm saying. KO just said the whole point of the Image Comics revolution, or that's the whole point of the Image Comics revolution is money. Yeah, make that money. If you're not into comics to make money, then I don't understand why you are trying to put out a crowdfund. Now, everyone wants to twist that some way into saying, if you are in it, you're in it for the money. You just want the money. No, I want to put out my dream. I want to make a comic book. I want to live my dream. And hell yeah, I want to make money. I want to do it all because you can do it all. There's no rule that says it's one way or the other. That's the poor man's mentality, right? Those are the excuses. It was the same thing in the band world when I was doing music. In the music world, it was the same thing. Bands that were successful, that were selling out clubs, making lots of money, getting signed, people would be, oh, they sold out. They sold out because they got that management group. They sold out because they changed their sound. They're just in it for the money. They're not really in it for the real arts of it. They're just in it for the money. It was just jealousy talking because they weren't where that band was. And then they started to look at what they do as more of a pure form of art because we're in it for the arts. We're in it for the music. We're in it for the comic books. You know, every money I make just goes right back in. I don't make anything. I'm constantly, I got to work hard over here, but you know what? I'm still out there every weekend playing my gigs, doing my thing because I'm a real artist. It's a weak argument and it makes you look silly. It just does. I totally back books because the creator was cool. Not sure about the art. Yeah, that's a fact. I'm not going to name names, but yeah, there's tons of people I've done that for. And I'll continue to do that for. Zach just wants to create his book and sell his book and have his book be read and have success with his creation. That he is working hard on. Yeah, and he is working absolutely, bananas hard on that. That dude is a workhorse right now, and I'm extremely excited. Mods, if you get a chance, please drop the link to Mondor's Rising into the chat so people can sign up for that. It's a Kickstarter, and I know some people don't do the Kickstarter thing. That's fine. There will be an Indiegogo, a Fund My Comic coming down the line as well. This is a book I'm publishing. I believe in Zach. I believe in the property. I believe in the character. I believe in the story. And he's also got a really great team, including Kayla, who you guys all know who Kayla is. She edited, she was assistant editor on my book. She wrote a story for me in the supplemental and Reaper Destroyer. She's writing and developing a story for me as we speak that we're going to launch later on this year. She's got a ton of stuff going on with Superior Press that we will be announcing in the future. So Zach is in great hands working with her, and I couldn't be more happy and satisfied with the team that he's got on this book. And I'm going to push it as hard as I can push it. Go visit superiorpresscomics.com. You can get a link to his sign-up sheet from there as well. K-Pop Junkie says, if you're honest and have a guest on, it is 1,000% about the guest, not you. That's a facts. Nailed it on that. I haven't done as many guests or had as many guests on as like Bancroft has, but I've had quite a few over the 6 years that we've done on stuff. And never once did I make the show about something other than the guest that was on. Never. It would never cross my mind. Rick Saylor says, the problem is Zach knows nothing about what John's wanted to go. And that's another thing too. Like, I guarantee you, Zach is probably just like, I have no idea what's being talked about here, but I can tell just by the tone of the conversation that it's probably something that I got to be careful answering. And he did a fantastic job answering it. Silver Ogre said, very few are in it because they are really have a message and just happen to have a trust fund. Everyone else has bills and family. Yeah. I don't even know a creator that was already like well off that jumped into the crowdfunding game. Maybe the creator of Death Shroud. And that's not a shot at that dude, Chad Larson, whatever his name is. But I've heard some stuff about him being pretty well off with the businesses he's run. Maybe that's it. Kayla said, I've never asked anyone any questions that like this during an interview. The interview should be focused on the project and the creator. I agree. I agree. Poor equals authentic. Well, in some people's, and shout out to Leighton Gay, in some people's mind, that's what it is. If you can't achieve it, then you have to cope with it. You have to make up an excuse of why you are not where this person is, even though you think you got the talent or the property or whatever to be there. And so then you have to figure out, like, well, I'm not there because of reasons. Now you start listing out the reasons. They got the break. I didn't. They were lucky. I'm not. They sold out. I'm being true. All that kind of stuff stacks up because you got to cope with the reason why you're not where you are instead of just doubling down and doing the hard work to try to get there. Some people are just naturally talented. They have luck, right? And some people have to work really hard, and it can be frustrating. I get it. I absolutely get it. But never keep that jealousy for somebody that's actually made it and doing very well. If anything, that's something I strive for, is to be like these people. They're not like them as much as find out the way to get that success and do it how you can do it, but get there. Not sit here and wallow in the facts of like, oh, what was me? I'm not going to do the Eeyore thing in the corner because I'm not making $200,000 on a campaign. Probably the same artists who go all in without a plan or having a regular job. Well, yeah, you got to be smart about it too. That's a great point. That is a great point. Kayla is a femme fatale, but she also knows comics. Yes, she's very smart in comics. Read more than I'll ever read, that's for sure. Vast knowledge of comic books. That's why it makes her such a great editor and writer. There hasn't been a lot of things that you guys have written or read from Kayla yet that's out there. There have been few things. Don't get me wrong. She wrote the supplemental story in the supplemental book for Reaper Destroyer. She got some other stuff that I think is coming out soon. Some stuff that she's working on for me. So when you actually see the ability that she has to write and to tell a story, I mean, she went to school for this kind of stuff. She knows what she's doing. She's a great writer and thinks way more in depthly about stuff than I do, which works good because I want to draw an action comic book, but I also want to have stories that go more in depth with character building and all that kind of stuff as well. And she's a good influence when it comes to both me and Sean and Zach when it comes to our comics. So 100% agreed. The chat's not allowed to cross the line either. The mods will wrench you. That can happen. Joe, thank you for the kind words, and I'm honored and blessed for the opportunities you have given me. You're welcome, but you earned it. That's the thing. You earned it. Excuses are like assholes. Everyone has one. That is true.
Also,
sells tires, sells the same brand of
so when I
tires.
went to Zachary's place, I paid for the tires, and I got the tires in a timely manner, not 5 years later. And then when I asked, where's my tires? They say, making tires takes a long time. You got to wait. You got to be paid. Well, give me my money back. I can't.
Well, I can't, on that end, I can't comment on.
I know. I'll put you on the line.
There you go, Zach. That's how you do it.
I can't comment on that end. I'm just going on the aspect of the same rules apply for comic books where you can read any comic book you want. When you go to back, whoever it is on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, whoever it is, when you see them streaming and you're like, because some in crowdfunding comics, a lot of people want to know the face behind the book. That is more the case than just going to the local comic shop and seeing whatever's on the stands. And at that point, you're just going in for what you usually go in for as a regular. And then if you see a cover that you like, you're just going to say, fuck it, I'll buy that cover. With crowdfunding, it's the creatives selling their personality, and it's their personality is what's going to help sell their book. So yeah, like when it comes to the wording of it, that could have just been a flashy.
No, I have people argued with me today. No, you're supporting my lifestyle, and I just say how effort.
Zach did a master class there and actually talking around that and bringing it back to the subject at hand and bring it to a point where it's like understanding what's being said. And again, John's going to jump right back into it. This has become a debate because John wants to hear the answer that he's looking for, because he's fighting with some people on X. You know, leave that stuff on X. I think Zach did a great job here. And if you want to take somebody's, you know, maybe that's what they feel. Who cares if that a creator feels that you're funding a lifestyle? You're funding a lifestyle through purchasing a book that you get. If John is talking about Graham Nolan, Nolan puts out books. Nolan makes books. He puts out books. There is no one not fulfilling when it comes to Graham Nolan. So that's a bad example if that is what he's talking about. If he's beefing with other people, I guess that is what it is. But my take is what he was talking about Graham Nolan with this. And it just, you know, to put a guy like Graham Nolan, who is one of the better creators in this space and more reliable creators, yeah, I don't get it. Rick Saylor said, fuck it, I'll be the one. Most books who do bad is because they suck, the story, art, and everything included. Yeah, there's a lot of bad books in crowdfunding, a lot of bad books in indie comics, because a lot of us amateurs are coming up because we're like, we want to put out a book. It's been our passion. It's been our dream. Maybe we don't really know how to do it. And so we get out here, we do it. Maybe some of us have success. Maybe some don't. Maybe some of us get humbled. But yeah, there's a lot of trash out there. 100% there is. But the thing about being a creator is you also have the ability to get better. And hopefully that's what you do. Hopefully you take the lessons you learn from your first book that drops. You listen to the critiques, the criticism, also the praise and all that kind of stuff, and continue to get better going forward. Because we're learning on the job here. You know, yeah, Rick said it. Yeah. Rick, he says it all. By the way, did I do this for you?
The common thread in all of my failed schemes is human stupidity. People are just too stupid to accept me as their leader.
See? Make Rick our leader. 2028, Rick Saylor. I like it. Darmex says, and there's always competition too. And that's the great thing. That's what I love about this space, is that there's competition. That there's always competition. Is the way it should be. The way it should be. Go back Mondor's Rising, everybody, or sign up for it if you could, please. Do that today. It's a great book. Here's a cover of Sonntag, which I think is also the ash can that you can get along with that when it actually launches. I think it's going to be later on this year on Kickstarter, but I do believe that we're going to be doing an Indiegogo and a Fund My Comic in the future. And we'll see what else we do from there. You never lose if you learn. That's, yeah, facts. There you go. Thank you, Sheldon. Please follow that, guys. Do me a favor if you can. If you're in the chat right now, just do me a favor. This is free to do. Click on this link and go sign up for it. Follow Zachary Maurice. I recently just learned his last name because I can't read and I'm dyslexic. So I was like, oh man, I was like, your name was Zachary Morris. It's Zachary Maurice. And I also found out he's not black. And he's not Mexican. Apparently he's Greek. Who knew? I guess Kayla knew. And now I know. Zach is going to go on all platforms. Yeah, he's going to make sure he puts the book where everybody wants it. So if you don't want to back it on Kickstarter, you don't have to. You can wait till the Indiegogo. If you're fed up with Indiegogo, you can wait till the Fund My Comic. So you have no excuses not to back this dude. Is one of the hardest working guys, fantastic artist, even a better person. Even better person. So please go support him. Sign up for Mondor's Rising and also pick up a copy of Sonntag. You live, you learn. Gross. Let's go. All right, everybody. Just one more reminder. Next, that's not it. Remove. Add. Next month, March 28th, I am launching the Reaper Destroyer Issue 2 preview book. This is 15 pages of rough pencils. When I say rough pencils, it's just my original pencils. Full script with a bunch of extras. It's going to be 24 pages, all for $15. Definitely pick that up. We are going to be running limited issue or covers, the black cover for 100 issues only. or 100 copies only. So check that out. And then the one in whatever number we're going to do, this is going to be only one book that you can get. The only one ever printed. This is going to go on the campaign too, probably for $100, but it's going to be custom. Nobody will ever have this cover except for you. Make sure you definitely check that out. I also have the sketchbook that I have put out through my website, superiorpresscomics.com, which that is not the right page. Let me get to it here. Full details. You guys can go back. The sketchbook today is on superiorpresscomics.com right now for $10. This has a collection of all of my art from the Kings that I've been drawing over the last few months, some of the best fun pieces I've drawn, plus some of my favorite pieces over the last few years I've done, and or maybe going back even farther to 10 years ago if I thought the quality was good enough to add to the book. 24 pages altogether, including brand new sketches exclusive to this book that I'm working on right now that will probably be a little bit more detailed than these because a lot of these are 2-hour drawings. But man, I had a lot of fun doing it. I finally have enough art built up to put a sketchbook out there. You can pre-order this today by going to superiorpresscomics.com, pre-ordering it. This will be shipping in July. The book is already done, so I don't have to wait around for it. It's just a funding period that we have, and we're going to be getting rolling with it. If you would like a remark, what's a remark? That's where I draw a custom piece of art on the cover of the book. You can get the remark for $30 as well. And they both ship in July. Although this might ship a little bit later because I have to do the remark, but they are both aimed to ship in July. So lots of things going on. Reaper Destroyer issue 2 will crowdfund on May 15th as well. I don't know where I'm going to be launching that. Maybe Hard Art, maybe on my own channel, maybe somewhere else, but be on the lookout for that. That book is coming along very well. I just got some. Oh, it's like, let me show you. Got some inked pages back from Marlo Akrisa, who was inking my book. I like to do my own inking on sketches and stuff. And when it comes to Reaper Destroyer, I'm trying to go for the absolute best quality I can. And I love working with inkers who can bring stuff together very nice. So got some really cool pages here. Everything's come along pretty well. I'm trying to get into this as much as possible before I actually launch the book. And it's going good. I'm going to try to get as many pages that I can, probably more than I did with Reaper Destroyer issue 1. Before the book actually launches, because I'm trying to get this book out faster now that I have a little bit more experience under my belt and better ways to do stuff. So definitely check this out. But I'm extremely proud of the work we're doing right now. It's the best work I've done in my career, and I'm working with an absolute amazing inker to bring this all together. Of course, Dave Kemp is going to be doing the colors like he did in the first book and just knocking this out of the park. We got great covers, one by Brett Booth, one by Oliver Isabedra, obviously a cover of my own, and a mystery artist that is going to be doing a cover I saw just the other day that looks fucking awesome. So definitely check that out. May 15th, mark it on your calendars, everybody. Reaper Destroyer issue 2 finally going to campaign. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Boomerang. How about you say that? But thank you very much. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share it out. Let people know about it. Hype the video if you get a chance to hype it when it's live. Comment below. If you're not watching this live and you watch this later, you got opinions, I will have a conversation with you, even if we disagree. I love having conversations with people. Give me your points of view. Maybe you change my mind about stuff. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But I'll talk to you below in the comments if you do. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate you very much. Reaper Destroyer 2 is going to have a whole different feel to it in the best way. The pages are hauntingly gorgeous. Yeah, we're going way more in a fantasy direction than issue 1 was more of like the brick and mortar, kind of like stereotypical where I came from, Spawn the Darkness in New York City. But I've been really inspired by fantasy over the last year. Fantasy art. And I took the story in a slightly different direction than I thought I was going to. It still fits within my story arc of what I want to do, but it just gives me a visually a different playground to play in. And I think you guys are going to love it. It's going to be a lot different than issue 1, but it's going to fit in there, and it's going to really, I think, get you excited. I've described it as Alice in Wonderland meets The Empire Strikes Back in the best way. And you'll see that when you actually read it. It's going to be awesome. Joe going solo. Yes, this is my solo show, the Ronin Joe Show. I've been doing it for a while. It's on and off. It's not it hasn't always been a weekly thing, but I think I'm back to doing weekly shows again. It probably won't always be this long. I just had some things to talk about. So, but thank you, Rachel. Good to see you. See you. Thanks, Joe. Thank you, man. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Can we watch that Champion one opener one more time? Go back and watch it. I already closed the page out. But yeah, just think about it. Think about it tonight. That was a very informative stream. Well, thank you, KO Joe. Appreciate you. Ahem. Cough, cough. I don't know what that means. What's that supposed to be about? Well, Kayla's editing the book. Is that I can't announce the other thing yet. We still haven't we got to set that up, Kayla. We can't talk about that yet. I think someone noticed you were doing fantasy before you did. Oh, yeah. Kayla did influence me and push me in a more fantasy direction. I will give her the credit for that. Because she did see the fantasy elements within my story and encouraged me to go in that. And once I actually looked at it, I was like, you know what, you're right. You're right. And I started getting influenced by other stuff, and there we are. We got it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've been going way longer than I usually go. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. We are going to get out of here. Check us. Actually, we don't have a show this Thursday. I'm going to my niece's last play before she graduates. So that's taking precedence this Thursday. But I'll be back on Sunday for another Ronin Joe show. And then we will be back in 2 weeks, or next week, not this week, but next week for Otten stuff as we get closer and closer to the end and the start of the new show. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Have a great night. Be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.